The pulse of the music is centered around the meter of a song. Meter is a repeated pattern that we show by using what's called a time signature. Time signatures can be in what's called simple or compound time. I'm only going to teach you about simple time for now, okay? So a time signature appears on the staff after the clef. It has a top number and a bottom number. The bottom number is what's telling you what the pulse of the meter is. So when you see a 4 on the bottom, it's representing a quarter note. So the 4 on the bottom is telling you that no matter what the top number says in each measure, you have to have a quarter note as that beat. So the beat represents each one, okay? The top number tells you how many beats are going to be in each measure. And if you're going, what is a measure? On a staff, it's going to be broken down by little lines, okay? These lines are called bar lines, and the space between the bar lines is what we know as a measure. So within each one of these, because my time signature is 2/4, I have to have 2 beats in each measure. So I've written it out for you. So 2 beats, so 2 quarter notes, 1, 2. 2 quarter notes, 1, 2. 2 quarter notes, 1, 2. For simple time, I can either have 2/4, 3/4, 4/4, 5/4, 6/4. It doesn't matter as long as it's 4 on the bottom. So if I have 3/4, that means I have to have 3 beats in each measure. So you'll see I wrote out 3 quarter notes and I count 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now the fun part about rhythm is you don't want just quarter notes, you want a variety of rhythms. So ultimately within each one of those measures, you can only have the number that's on the top of the fraction of the time signature. So if I have 4/4, which is your most common simple time, if I have 4/4, obviously I can have 4 quarter notes because that is my simplest way of showing the meter of the song. Or I could have 1 whole note. If I have 1 whole note, if I were to be singing or playing an instrument, I would play for the first pulse, so 1, and I would sustain my sound for 4 pitches. So it's la. If I have half notes, I can have 2 half notes in a measure because 2 plus 2 equals 4. La, la. So you have to sustain the sound. If I were to have eighth notes, as I said in part 1 of rhythm, it takes 2 eighth notes to equal 1 beat. So what we would do is it's called subdivision. So 2 are in the place of 1 beat. So here's 1 beat, here's 1 beat, 1 beat, 1 beat. So instead of going 1, 2, 3, 4, you have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So you still count every single one, but it takes 2 to equal 1 beat. So if this is my beat, la 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 la. So 2 are in the place of 1. Over here I have 16th notes. It takes 4 16th notes to equal 1 beat. So when you're subdividing, sometimes it's easier to think 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a, so that it doesn't get confused. Now notice if I just had the 1 and, then I would have 2 eighth notes. So I'm adding an E and an A. So if this is my beat, this is 1 beat, I'd have to have la 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 la, 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. So I have to get 4 in the place of 1 beat. I can have any combination of rhythms as long as whatever it adds up to is the same as the top number of the time signature.